The D10 chart, the Dashamsha chart in your horoscope. Or it's another horoscope itself, but nonetheless, the D10 chart tells you about your profession. That's it. We already know it. So, what's new in this video? Well, the D10 chart tells us about our profession, but what exactly does it tell us? It's like, the D1 is there, the D10 is there. What if both are saying something opposite? So, what if the D1 and D10 are totally contradictory? Or what does the D10 does actually, right? So that's exactly what we are going to discuss today. 10 things about your profession which the D10 tells you. Very, very, very important video. As astrologers, whenever we are making some predictions, we should always use the D10, all right? Therefore, the first thing that the D1 tells us is where is our career heading. So, the career path and direction is from the D10, which means it gives us suitable information about what kind of a career should we choose. Are we more entrepreneurial? Should we be a businessman? Should you be an employee? Should you be self-employed? Should you do partnerships or whatever? So what area should you enter by which you can maximize your success? Which area can help you to maximize your gains and success? Where can you what kind of things can you do which can feel very natural to you? This is the most important reason to see the D10. What can you do without feeling much of a burden? Now, every work is some kind of burden. You like it or you don't like to hear, but the D10 tells you how can you make your work the least burdensome, all right? Number two, it is very important to help time when there is when there can be professional success, like promotion, or you get a new job, or also demotion or termination of job, all right? So therefore timing of events are also, they should also be seen from the D10. Okay, now we'll discuss about the D1 D10 at the end, but first the 10 things, all right? Number three, it tells you, very important, it tells you about your work environment, what kind of a work environment you can have. Okay, this is very important. Now, let me give you a caution here. This is not exactly to predict, like, oh, you will have, three men and two ladies in your workplace. No, it's not superficial things like that. But it will tell you what kind of nature, what kind of colleagues you might have, what kind of people they may be. They are good people or they are not nice. Will superiors help you? Will your subordinates and your equals help you, or will they oppose you? So these kind of things the D10 can tell. Okay. Very important. And number four, it will tell you, what kind of challenges and obstacles you will face. Okay, so this is very important because depending on your dasha, which is your Mahadasha, Antardasha, you will face challenges and obstacles in every profession, right? So the D10 can help you time that on this specific Antardasha, what this is the specific obstacle you will face. So sometimes when people already have a job and they are not able to move ahead in their job, they want to know, how can I get a new promotion or a different job? So then the D10 can help you to tell exactly where the problem is and to rectify it at the root. Okay, so finding the root cause of obstacles, that's very important. Number five, this is gold. The D10 helps you to find skills and talents which you can use in your existing profession. Like, for example, some people are extremely creative, so for them it is good if they, if they are into IT, then they are into some front end development, or they are into all this UI UX design. For some people they are not very creative, so for them maybe staying in the back end is good. Superficially I'm saying, okay, just it does not mean you cannot use creativity in your back end, but at a superficial level I'm just trying to tell you. So therefore, or you are a very good consultant, you are very good at consulting, so maybe you should choose a career where there is requirement of consulting. Okay, or maybe you are introvert and you don't like to interact too much with people. You are a person whom, if we give some work, you make sure it's done and you go home at 5 in the evening. So what kind of a person are you? Okay, what are your skills and talents? So these are technical and interpersonal skills also. Okay. Number six, very, very important, especially today. It shows the potential of your leadership and authority. Okay, so it shows to what extent you can lead people, you can guide people, you can, inspire people, you can encourage people. To what extent can you give people your vision? So this is what the D10 tells us. So if the D10 is good, the person is a very big visionary. He or she can really move people. All right. If you are not having a good D10, then maybe you need somebody to inspire you or somebody to give you a vision. Okay. Now, this does not mean that anybody who has a great D10 should be an entrepreneur. It does not mean that. You can also be an employee with a great D10, but you will be able to motivate others and give a good vision to others. Okay. Number seven, this tells you, the D10 tells you about your financial gains. This is very important again, like all other points, because the D10 can tell you what exactly will happen in your career. So, for example, if there is a dasha which is activated, will you just get more money, or you will get a promotion, your name fame will increase, your status will rise? So what exactly will happen? Or will it just be a pay raise? Okay. Or you get something totally different, like 3x above your level, so something like that. So, or maybe you are demoted considerably. So these things we can say with the D10. So how much money you will get, how much promotion you will get. Promotions we have already discussed, but also the financial aspect. And to some extent, it might also be possible to identify with the D10. How will you get the money? It is through ESOPs or stocks, or is it through regular salaried income? Okay, so this is also something we might be able to say with the D10. Okay, very important. You'll get bonus, salary hike, or whatever it is, or you might get some gifts sometimes, or you get some allowances, or you get some rebates somewhere. Okay, some bonus offer and all this, not bonus, sorry, offer. So, or other monetary benefits, like they pay for your insurance or something like. So these are things which we can get to know from the D10 also. Okay. Number eight, it will tell you about your job changes and stability. So it will give you insights about when you could get a new job, or when you might lose an existing job. And it can also tell you, if you get a new job, how long will that job stay. Nowadays this has become very important, because many people, they don't have long jobs these days, full-time jobs. Some are working 2 3 part-time jobs, some are working contract based. Okay, so therefore this becomes very important. So timing of job gains, job losses, or timing of the stability. Okay, primarily the stability. Or will you have frequent job changes? So one thing is, in general, will you have frequent job changes, or you will have stability? And also specifically now, okay, will you have job change or stability? So this is what we can predict. Number nine, partnerships and collaborations. Are partnerships beneficial for you? Should you do partnerships, collaborations, or people will end up cheating you? So these are things which the D10 can say. A person with a good D10 can do good partnerships and also benefit each other. Person with a bad D10 will either cheat their business partners or get cheated by them. 20% of the time they will cheat, and 90% of the times they will get cheated if the D10 is bad. All right. And number 10, overall your career trajectory, which means where is your career heading, in the next 5 years, 10 years? What level will you reach? Will you become a vice president or CEO in the next, 5 years, or next 10 years or 20 years? Or maybe you won't ever become. Or will you leave your job and become an entrepreneur after 5 years? So the trajectory, the back-to-back dashas, how will they impact your career? What will be your level? Okay. So it's a comprehensive view which you get. So therefore, in interviews, they always ask this, right? Hmm, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? So then, ideally, if the interviewer knows about your D10, the person would not ask this question. I mean, ideally, hypothetically, right? So therefore, it can also tell you what is the grade of a person. Grade means, where can this person reach? What is the maximum limit of this person? So that the D10 will tell you. All right. So I hope these 10 points gave you a good gist of what exactly the D9 can tell us and how we can use the D9. And now, last but not the least, if the D1 is saying something, D10 is saying something different, what does it mean? Well, the secret is they never say anything different, which means why do we think that they are saying different things? It's because we think the planets have the same meaning in the D1 and D10. So suppose, for example, somebody has sun in the 10th house in D1 and 4th house in D10. So what we will think, oh, here sun is strong, here sun is not strong. What will happen basically, right? But that's a completely wrong approach, because the sun in the D1 and the sun in D10 has similar meanings, but also totally different meanings. Okay. So therefore, you should not think that both are sometimes opposing, because every horoscope, every divisional chart will act independent of any other divisional chart. And at the end, when everything has to come together, then it will manifest through the D1. Okay, very important. So this means, suppose if there is indication of creativity in the D1, but there is no creativity in the D10, then it means that your creativity will stay in your life because it is in D1, but it will just be like a hobby. It won't become your profession. Okay, that this is an example. So don't ever think that the D1 and D10 are contradicting each other. They can never contradict. So they will always complement each other, provided your birth time is correct. Okay, otherwise, if your birth time is not correct, because see, the D9, D10, they change quite frequently, right? The D1 does not change for 1.5 to 2.5 hours sometimes. So if your work time is wrong, then you may feel, oh, there is no consensus between my D1 and D10, what's going on. So then you need to understand that maybe I need to do some work time rectification. Otherwise, it will always tell you at the end what is happening. So the D1 and D10 will tell you two things. One, the D1 will tell you what is happening in this person's life in general, which are the primary focus areas. And the D10 will tell you specifically what should the person do in profession and what is going on in the profession and what will go on or what could go in the profession. All right. Both the good and the bad. All right. So don't forget to check the D10. And at the end, don't forget to check the D9 and most importantly, the D1 and the Bhava Chalit chart. All right. Thank you so much for your patience. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and share it with somebody who wants to know more about their profession from the D10. And for personalized consultations, you can always go to my website down below. God is there with you all the time. Just look to him and you will find him for sure. Take care.